What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome back to the mobile gaming tier list for the month of July. July FG? Hold on, wait a minute, let me explain. Alright, truth be told, I'm putting this video out way later in the month than I really wanted to. However, do keep in mind that I always do these videos 1 month out. So for example, when it's June, I'm doing the May games, and when it's July, I'm doing the June games. So I'm usually 1 month out. However, I'm never this late in the month, so don't worry, the next tier list after this is gonna come a lot faster as we do the August games in September. It makes sense if you don't think about it. So let's go ahead and take it from the top, ladies and gentlemen. Starting this bad boy off, Lukewarm with V4, one of those tried and true auto play, auto path, auto combat, auto quest, mobile and PC MMOs. Now, I gotta admit, I played the game nearly to max level. I played it for quite a while, but let me explain why I know it's a bad game even though I played it, right? First of all, the game just sits on your computer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's absolutely no time for doing anything else but auto grinding. And the small amount of time that you actually have some type of interaction when it comes to actually doing like world boss and things of that nature, it is so time restrictive. You literally have to be at a very specific spot in the world early. Not on time. You have to be early. It's like a job, yo. You gotta be at a specific place at a specific time for the world boss to spawn, and you gotta be there early because if you come like 5 minutes late, probably everyone else has already killed the boss already. So not only is it a game that wants to sit on your computer all day, it's also a game that wants you to be at a specific spot in the world on time every single night. So I absolutely do not recommend V4 to anyone unless maybe you have a little bit of FG in you and you don't mind having like a digital interactive wallpaper on your second screen. For everyone else, don't recommend. This is gonna be a straight up F from FG. There you go. Fate the One is gonna be the next game up. Now this would be a game that in a normal year, in a year that wasn't called 2020, it wouldn't even make a tier list video. Like, I don't actually put every single game that I cover on the tier list. This would have definitely been a game that I wouldn't have covered. I mean, there's nothing really to speak of here. It's a by the numbers, bog standard hero collector. Like I said, I'll give it a D because it's still playable, has some cool art in there and whatnot, but for the most part, this wouldn't even be a game that I would even talk about in a normal circumstance. However, a game I would talk about is Ceno Alice. It's in a very odd spot, FG. You normally put like the hot titles towards the end. I normally do, but I forgot to do it, and we're already live, so we going with it. Ceno Alice. For the life of me, yo, I do not understand the hype that this game garnered. Like, I understand the hype that I got from people that never played the game before. Everyone else that was like on the outside looking in like, yo, this game should be hot. So I get that though, but everyone else that actually played the game, I don't understand the hype that they pushed on the game. So the people that didn't play it, I get it. I understand why you got hyped. For the people that played it, I am still very confused. So me, myself personally, when I look back at Ceno Alice, I struggle to even articulate anything I really enjoyed about the game outside of the setting. Like, I like the setting, I like the idea, the concept of Ceno Alice, but the execution, I didn't like the combat, I didn't like the lack of enemy variety, I didn't like the non-HD backgrounds, I didn't like the story. That was one of the things that was most touted part about Ceno Alice. I thought that was like really like, this is it? This is the story? A couple of one-liners here and everyone's like super edgy? I didn't like that. The thing that people tell me the most that they like about the game being the live guild combat, I did a few of those. I didn't like that either. I just don't see, for the type of gamer that I am, I don't see any likable features for Ceno Alice for me personally, outside of some collaborations. But even then, I don't feel like it's worth playing the game to get to those collaborations. So FG, I'm putting Ceno Alice at a D. It's a flawed experience. Will it get better? I heard that there are more features in the JP version that have not made their way over here. And it's just gonna make the game better and better and better. Maybe I'll revisit it when there's like a big, massive like 2.0 style update. Maybe I'll go back and take a look at it. But as the game stands right now in global, it's just a D for me. So the next game up is Tales of Crashtoria. I'm gonna go ahead and throw Tales of Crashtoria right there at D, even though I feel like it could be a C. The game is just so buggy right now, and I'm not even talking about emulators right now, right? I'm talking about cell phone emulator. It's just quite the buggy experience, and I have not played a lot of it since global launch. So what I did before this video, I went to the Facebook, and right now on Facebook Live today, there's like a little letter talking about the things that they're working on, and they're still working on crashes. They're still working on raid bugs. They're still working on arena being non-responsive. Those are things that were impacting me when I stopped playing. So it's still in a very, very bad spot. Even after the game was delayed by Bandai, it came out way too early. And that's a shame because I think the Tales games definitely deserve a presence here in global. This would have definitely been the foundation of a game that could have met the expectations of a lot of fans. I know some people didn't really like the combat, but overall, I think it was a pretty solid experience. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing in Tales of Crashtoria, I keep calling it that. Nothing in Tales of Crashtoria is really gonna blow you away. But if you love the characters, you love the IP, the story is good enough to hold you, I think it could be a good experience, but right now it's just not ready. And hopefully it has the time it needs to get ready, because you guys know how Bandai is when it comes to Tales games. They ain't got no mercy, all right? Guardian Tales, ladies and gentlemen, what a treat Guardian Tales is. This is an absolute must play for everybody that plays on mobile. I'm gonna put it right up here next to Arc Knights, absolute must play. I know I saw some people kind of look at screenshots and video and go, ah man, I don't like pixel art. Forget that, all right? Try to look past it. I know a lot of people do not like pixel art, I get it. Look past that, jump into the game and give just World 1 a try. If you just play through World 1, I guarantee a large majority of you out there will see what the hype is all about when it comes to Guardian Tales. You wanna talk about Ceno Alice having a good story? No, no. Guardian Tales has a good story. You look forward to reading all the dialogue. I like when I record videos on Guardian Tales, I feel like really like upset that I have to skip story dialogue because it's that good. Not to mention the translation is on point. When games like this are translated and they have to kind of account for, you know, pop culture references and memes and things of that nature, that's a very hard thing to translate. This might be a little bit old for a lot of you guys out there, but the translation is on par with like Working Designs from back in the day, or NIS America right now, where they translate extremely well and the humor comes across. The side stories are fantastic. The main story is good. The only thing that kind of throws me down a little bit, of course, is the pixel art. I do like it. I do like the pixel art, but I would always prefer to have like full HD, you know, sprites. That's just me, I know. And the daily gameplay loop, I'm not a big, massive fan of, but overall, I still think it's an A, must-play experience. Go check out Guardian Tales. The next game up is gonna be Warbound Storm, which is super surprising to me because given how NetEase normally is the type of company that looks at what type of things are trending and just copies them. All right, that's what they do. They look at what's trending and they just copy them wholesale. Lately though, that has not been NetEase's MO. Warbound Storm is in a class by itself. There's no other game out there that captures that 1v1 RTS feeling. Not only does it capture the feeling, they made it make sense for mobile. The controls are streamlined, the controls work for playing the game on your phone. Definitely a fun game to play. I'm not sure how pay to win it is in the higher levels, but early on, it's a ton of fun and there's a lot of strategy and a very high skill ceiling with this game. So I'm looking forward to what else NetEase does. I talked about this in my last pre-registration video. They have a game called Murderous Pursuits, and that's another game that NetEase didn't copy off somebody. Now, yeah, they kind of copy the idea, but it's not like a battle royale game where they made like 55 of them, right? So I'm very happy with NetEase. This actually gives me even more hope. Don't say it, FG. This gives me more hope for Diablo Immortal. Like, they're showing me a different side of NetEase. I'm not gonna be able to call them that janky company no more. Shout out to NetEase. For me, nice average. Now, also, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize this if they're on my Twitch streams, average is good, yo. Lots of things in the world are average. That's not a bad thing. Think about most things in life are average, all right? There's a reason why average always has a lot of entries. To be above average is exceptional, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Don't take it as a diss. Don't take it as a diss. I'm not dissing your waifus. One Punch Man Road to Hero 2.0. For me, this has to go right next to Bleach Immortal Souls because it's pretty much a carbon copy of that game. If you guys don't know the history of these two games, basically, so when Bleach came out, it was a runaway success for Oasis. Like, this game is still doing extremely well. So it's an idol hero collector RPG based on the Bleach franchise, pretty straightforward. Now, at the same time Bleach was killing it and printing money, they had One Punch Man Road to Hero 1.0 out, struggling, not making money, not printing money at all. So Oasis looked at this situation and decided it's not a good situation for the players that love the 1.0 version of One Punch Man Road to Hero, unfortunately. But Oasis looked at the situation, they saw how well Bleach was doing, they saw how poorly One Punch Man was doing. So what they ended up doing is taking 1.0 Road to Hero, putting it in maintenance mode, and then launching a new game, Road to Hero 2.0, which basically is a carbon copy of Bleach, just with One Punch Man characters. So once again, for everyone that liked the 1.0 version, it's not great for them. Yeah, they can still play, but their game is effectively in maintenance mode, which is unfortunate. But now that the game is in 2.0, now that, like I said, it's literally like Bleach, it's doing extremely well now. So now that this format has worked twice already, I would anticipate Oasis finding another anime IP to do it all over again. They have Naruto, but I'm not sure if Bandai will allow them to put out a Naruto game on mobile. They might as well. Blazing is kind of old, Ninja Voltage is kind of meh, and nobody cares about Tribes. Who cares if they let, you know, someone like Oasis make a Naruto game? I would actually kind of like to see it. The only thing that I would want, I wouldn't want it pint-sized chibi Naruto characters. Can we please get a good Naruto game where they're not pint-sized and chibi? I would like to have like full-blown Naruto adult-looking characters. So yeah, One Punch Man Road to Hero 2.0 is a C from me. And then last but not least, Romancing Saga Re-Universe. This is quite the sleeper hit game, right? I had a ton of fun playing Romancing Saga past tense. I still think it's a great game. I want to continue playing it. The quality of life eventually kind of burns me out. This is a game that not only does it not have auto repeat, the developers have already come out and said, we don't want to put auto repeat in the game. And a game like this where you are constantly regrinding the same stages over and over and over and over and over and over again, you gotta have something. And I really feel like some of these developers really need to kind of think outside the box, because if a player asks for auto repeat and you don't want to put it in your game, right? Let's say you just don't want to have auto repeat in your game. That doesn't mean that you just stop thinking of solutions, because there's still a problem there. You telling your player base, we ain't putting in auto repeat, doesn't fix anything. There's still a problem, and there are ways to fix this. Now, some people might say it's not broken in the first place. You need to be sitting at your computer all day, hitting next battle, next battle, next battle, next battle. I don't agree, and I'll give you a prime example of why I don't agree. A few weeks ago, they gave out 700 stamina potions as a reward, right? A ton of stamina potions. Think about almost every hero collector you play, 700 stamina is a ton of stamina. And literally a day later, you know what happened? Everyone that used auto clickers burned through all 700 of their stamina. They had tons of levels and skills and farm materials. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, don't worry about those players, have your own fun. Sure, but it still doesn't feel good knowing that you, if you want to burn through that 700 stamina, are going to be tied to your phone or your computer for months maybe. I don't even know how long that will take you to burn through 700 stamina. Meanwhile, a person using an auto clicker can burn through 700 stamina like that, get all the rewards, all the skills, all the farming, and you're sitting there trying to do it the right way manually. It's not a good feeling. What I would do, right, if I was in charge of Romancing Saga and I wasn't allowed to put in auto repeat, how about allow people to multiply their stamina? There's other solutions, right? So have a player say, you know what, I want to run this stage and I want to use 5 times the stamina so I can get 5 times the reward in one run. How about that? Right? There's other ways of fixing this. So I hope that they re-look at their stance on auto repeat and how the daily gameplay loop and the daily grind of Romancing Saga is played here in the global audience, because JP versus global, we have totally different perspectives when it comes to grinding in mobile games. Like we're totally different. So I really feel like they need to re-look at that again. What does that have to do with the rating, FG? All right. So with that, I really want to put it up here. Low B, high C. I really want to put it up here. But due to that, I'm going to go ahead and give it a C. There are a couple of quality of life features away from being a B, but I'm a little sad that I'm not sure if they're ever going to come. So that is that. All right, so that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. The last and final thing that we have to do that we normally do in the very beginning of the video, but we're going to do it at the end of the video. Blade X Lord. That's going to be a don't category because that game is shut down right next to Symphogear, which is also shut down, along with Cross Chronicle, which also shut down. So all 3 of those bad boys are down here at the very bottom. So that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, my name is FG3000. That was a look at the tier list. And one last little housekeeping item while we're doing this. I know this tier list is hard to navigate if you don't know what these game icons are. Like if you don't know any of these games, it's kind of hard to navigate this. It's kind of hard to see what's what. So I'm gonna be working on basically a spreadsheet, a read-only spreadsheet that's gonna make this make more sense. And it's gonna have all of the titles of the games with links to my actual videos, because every single video on this tier list I've covered. So that's coming, and that's gonna be something that I'm gonna maintain on every single tier list from here on out. So still working on it. I'm trying to think of a good format for it to make sense. If you guys have any suggestions, I hate to put it in just an Excel file. I think that might be sloppy. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, let me know. But that is gonna do it. My name is FG3000. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.